Hello, it's Tristan here from ZebraInvest, and today I'm doing a slightly different video, weirdly from the office. And this is actually to update you and run through what I called our golden opportunity. So earlier this year, or literally the very tail end of last year, we'd got the purchase degree to go through and buy a property called Carnarvon Road. And with this property, we were buying one property at the front and one property behind it. But unfortunately, the person who was selling the property, they split the titles into two. But they hadn't got planning permission for the one at the back to be used or sold separately. And also, they hadn't managed to split the utilities, so it meant that the electric was only being supplied from the front house, so you wouldn't actually be able to divide them up. And finally, with the whole place, there wasn't any easement, and an easement is a legal thing, and it means that you weren't able to walk through from one property to the other. So legally, it was a complete mess, and it's a property that they tried to put on market and had tried to sell normally. They put it on market for £600,000, which I thought was an okay deal, but it's definitely not going to be deal of the century. But so we've gone through, done the full refurbishment, turned the whole place around, and it looks absolutely stunning. But the stupid and daft thing that I didn't go around and do a video. So what I wanted to do today was run through a whole load of photos, run through the floor plan, explain exactly what we did to the place to turn it from a one-bedroom property into a six-bedroom HMO with two ensuites, two shared bathrooms, and how we're now just about to push the rent from £3,000 a month up to £3,300, but actually renting it without bills rather than including. So what I'll do is I'll just share a photo of what the property actually looks like from the outside of the building, and then give you an idea so you can get a bit of a feel for what we did. So this was the place. It doesn't look absolutely stunning here. I'm going to turn my email off now, so then no one gets in touch with me. There we go. So you can see here's the outside of the building. It's a gorgeous property, and it was once actually a milk float servicing centre. And the whole property to the inside, it boasted character. It had loads of oak in the floor, and it was absolutely stunning. But it really just needed to be turned around and turned into something that someone could love. And it certainly wasn't that when we took it on. So what we've done to the place is, I was just trying to get another little picture up for you. It hasn't gone. So if I just go into a group, here we go. And both of them haven't all come out at once. But here you go, so you can see what we've done to the place. So it's a huge property on the inside of it. And on the left-hand side of the building, we always had this nice little walk-through just in here. And as you came through, you can get these, we got these custom-made U-shaped sofas from a company called Soft Nord out in Lithuania. And they actually supply sofas to people like John Lewis, and a few others. So you can get everything made in custom sizes to fit the area. So put that, and the other bit was, and you'll see in the photos in a second, was we actually reused the existing kitchen worktops, turned it round, so we end up having a far more large open space, and then put in an American fridge freezer in the corner. Put up all these huge funky graphics, which make the bedrooms look really cool. And then what we did was we then put in new stud work to put in the bedrooms across the back. And they've obviously got their own windows, fire escape routes, or whatever else like that out the back side there. And then what we did was we put two bathrooms at the back to back. And the idea is here, you can see you've got a rather nice sized ensuite. It's probably as compact as we could possibly get it. We've got a rather nice sized ensuite, and then with a full bathroom next to it. And you can see here, there's tons of weird measurements all going there. I'll be able to show you a photo in a second, but that's actually where we fitted a washing machine tumble dryer stack. So you put them on top of each other in a cupboard, so you've got all the utility there, but it's actually away from all the living space. We've put acoustic insulation in there, an acoustic board, so anyone in the bedroom next to it shouldn't really be able to hear it too much. And then on the right hand side, you can see as we come upstairs, it was a beautiful property up there already, but we rearranged the whole back of the property. So where originally, if you look at one of the older videos, you'll be able to see pretty much the space across from here was one large bedroom, and then on the right hand side was the bathroom. But by moving it, moving the walls, putting a couple of new entrances in there, we were able to put in two sets of bathroom, one ensuite, and we put the one ensuite into probably one of the worst rooms in the house, just because it's got a really small window. But we put the ensuite in there and gave it its own thing. It's got a bit of borrowed light in here as well. And then the other bedroom's quite nice. But the absolute best room in the house definitely would be this one down at the front. And the room that you can't see here, which I'll show you in the photos, is absolutely stunning loft space. So we had this little nook kind of cranny area that you couldn't really stand up in. You may have seen there's a photo of me. I'm literally hitting the ceiling about there. So what we did was we put in a length of kitchen work surface because it's got a nice round profiled edge. Put in some chairs underneath it. So you've got a really nice little work from home space, which makes it a great little kind of co-living area for people to want to go and enjoy. So what I'll do is let's just kind of almost walk you around the property and show you what's in there now. So if we just open up, where can we go? So I've got endless photos of this place, but I'll show you around and you get a good feel for where it was. How about I go with, I'll show you those. I can also show you what the place looked like before we even got started. So then you got a good idea for kind of what the before and after of the property was. '72. Here we go. So I'm going to open this up and just share it to you. Here we go. So you'll be able to see this is what we started with. The outside of it didn't really change in all honesty, but it was a beautiful place. And you can see here it was an absolutely massive open plan kitchen living space. But it had this kitchen in it, gorgeous kitchen. Someone would have spent a fair amount of money on it. We actually found out it was from IKEA. But what we did here was we took all of the kitchen doors off. Any of the units that we could reuse, we did. Anything that we couldn't, we got rid of and had it taken away and hopefully recycled. So it had it all pushed back against the wall. So we then managed to get 2 sets of units in it. You can see it was quite a nice place to get started. It was vast inside, and I mean, it would have been someone's absolutely, a little play den really. And you got a nice bathroom, gorgeous views over the local area. But it's just somewhere that, yeah, as soon as I walked in, I thought this could be something really fantastic. So instead, it now looks something quite a bit different to that. And I hope you appreciate what we've done with it. So here we go. I'll show you some photos. So granted, these were all done by a professional photographer, so they do look rather nice. But we've gone in and we've put all these industrial style beds and furniture in. You can get some of this furniture is from a company called LPD Furniture. Beds are all from a company called Crazy Price Beds, and they are really quite good value. You can see we went with this kind of real industrial theme all the way throughout, and then just kind of tied it all in together. And the bathroom here, you can see this is where I was looking at that little ensuite, and we put in a combined toilet vanity unit there. They're about, I think, 900 millimeters wide, and then an 800 millimeter wide shower. So you manage to get a full bathroom into quite a tight space. And then we went to a local supplier and got all these mirrors made up, custom made to fit, and they look absolutely stunning just to make the places look really quite large. So that's just flicking through. You get an idea. And what we did was when we found the place was an old dairy, it used to be a milk float servicing centre and delivery centre. And you see here, underneath this little section, all the way through the property, there was an underground garage area that went through it. And that was really good for when we wanted to run new sets of hot and cold feeds for the radiators, running new soil pipes in the property. We managed to run them all through there as well. But we ended up creating all these signs to kind of tie it in. And here you can see, you probably wouldn't be able to tell too much. We went to Same Deal, or it's called a private landlord buying group, and got all new units, all new doors, all new top units all made up, and had it all matched up. So the whole place looks absolutely fantastic. And B&Q had an offer on the on hobs and ovens, so we got those. They look quite nice. And then what we did was went to the same company where we got the mirrors made, is we got this custom splashback made. So you can see we've got this huge splashback that runs all the way through, and that should be really easy to keep clean and look after. But yeah, so the place absolutely looks really stunning. Nice, huge, American fridge freezer. And this is exactly the sofa that I was saying that we had shipped in all the way from Lithuania. Really nicely built sofa, good quality, and it's going to be nice and durable. That gives you an idea. Nice little table. Whole idea, fingers crossed, when people walk and they think it's going to be somewhere they want to live. I'm sure you love the look of the photos. The whole idea with this is we were trying to create an absolutely excellent product that we could get a really good revaluation on the end to buy, refurbish, refinance, and make a decent margin on, whilst also creating a fantastic product that people will want to live in. But you can see here we've got this cupboard, and in that cupboard is the washing machine tumble dryer stack. You've got one on top of the other, and then everything will kind of shoot straight out the back in the corner where the bathrooms are. But this means if you've got 6 people living in the place, it's quite easy for them all to be able to do their own washing and be able to also to be able to dry it. And what we did, which you probably won't be able to see, but we made sure that we got a washing machine that is 7 kilos and a tumble dryer that also does 7 kilos. So it means if you put all of your rubbish, all your washing all in one, you put it straight into the other without damaging the other machine, which I've seen happen a lot of times. We put a shower panel all throughout all the bathrooms, and this is just a really quite durable way of fitting a bathroom. And we know there aren't going to be any leaks, and it looks absolutely stunning. Most of the bathrooms all came through Better Bathrooms, who do some great trade prices. And again, this is the run to the litter, the worst room in the house, I think. It's still really quite a nice little place for someone to live in and enjoy being there. And this is what I said about the borrowed light, where we've got a separate blind there, and then we've got another main window for them as well. But again, I don't think you would notice. It's absolutely a beautiful room. And you can tell here when we had the photos done whose books they were. They're all mine. Here we see this, a great little book to read there. You get the gist, it's done really well. And then as we come through, you'll find you've still got that kind of industrial feel to it, alongside all the different graphics, whatever else going on there. It does look really nice. And then here we went with these 4-poster beds. They're really cool. You can pick them up from crazy priced beds as well. And they just make the place look absolutely fantastic and far more desirable than probably most other student houses that you would find nearby. The other bit we called in the black in the loft just to kind of bring out the features to make it look really cool. And then my favourite room in the house, this is the one facing the front towards Carnarvon Road. But it's a massive room, really nice loft height or ceiling height. And again, all kind of finished the same style. And then the final bit was the little area upstairs. Anyway, so Tristan, what were the numbers? What were the figures? I'm sure this looks excellent. But how does it stack up? So we bought the whole property originally for £527,000. We bought that on bridging, or my JV partners and we bought that on bridging. Property went through. And then as the purchase went through, we got the planning sorted, and with that we managed to get just open it up. We've got this lawful development certificate. And so what you need with a lawful development certificate is you need to have the evidence. Sorry, I shouldn't really have the name up there, but you need to have the evidence to be able to demonstrate how the property has been used, why it's been used, how it is a C3 property. And in Norwich, we don't have any Article 4, so you can change a C3 property, residential property, into a C4 HMO without having to get planning permission to do exactly that. And then they've just said, yes, that's your planning authorised, and then we can start using the property. And that's what really added a lot of value to it. So on the day that we purchased it, we had a valuation from Watson's, a local surveyor. Whenever you get a bridging loan, they give you a valuation usually of what it's going to be worth when you buy it and what it's going to be worth once it's done. And as soon as that planning had gone through and we paid British Gas £150 to come in and fit another meter, then the property was actually worth £700,000 between the two of them. We then spent £80,000 on the property, doing the refurbishment to both of them. The one at the back, converting it into that 6-bedroom property with the 4 bathrooms, sorting out the kitchen, adding all the furniture in, and really going to town on it. Whilst the front property, we ended up doing quite a bit more work than we thought we would. We ended up stripping off the roof, fitting a new boiler into the place, putting all new buttons, whatever else in. We've ended up planing down, sanding down all of the floors, sealing them all up, fitting all new fire doors throughout the property, fitting door closers, and just bringing it up to the standards that you would expect it to be when it's an HMO. So we've done all of that work for the property, but the end value has been fantastic. So we've now had Land Bay come around and they valued the property and had it all done at £790,000. So if you think about that, if you do 790,000, we'll go with 800 because it's close enough. 75% loan to value on that is actually 600,000. So then at 600,000, and we bought it at 527, the difference there is £83,000. We've obviously spent roughly 80 on our refurb, so that brings us down to cost there, but that would almost be no money left in at 530. But then we've obviously got the legal cost of buying the property, having held it, having paid out for the interest and various other side of it. So I've got a feeling our cost on that have ended up being probably about £50,000. So we're end up going to be probably about £50,000 left in on these two properties. But it should deliver us, touch wood, roughly about a return on investment of circa 30%. So it's two really nice properties to hold on to. And we've created a really nice place for people to want to come and live. So anyway, I hope that was a good roundup of how the properties have all turned out. Unfortunately, it's not the walk round that I wanted to give you, but hey, that's what it is. If you've got any questions about this deal and how it works, just drop them in there below. Hopefully you've liked this video and you've subscribed to the channel. If you've got any questions about anything, or you're looking to possibly invest or to work on a lend and learn basis, which we're now doing at ZebraInvest, please get in touch. Have a good one.